This shows, and I can see Sean's ready to get up and talk, so.
Whenever you're ready.
Yeah, so I'm actually gonna let Sean Martin, kind of tell us a little bit about it from Atmos, so.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Good to see y'all again. It's good to be back. My name is Sean Martin. I'm Manager of Public Affairs with Atmos Energy, opposite 1101 North Arnold Boulevard in Abilene. And I'm here this evening on behalf of Atmos, asking the council to pass this resolution or ordinance approving new rates based on our rate review mechanism, the RRM, as it may be referred to. As you may recall, the city approved the rate review mechanism tariff in the spring of 2018. The RRM allows us to adjust our rates on an annual basis to recover the investments made in our gas delivery system. Based on this agreement, Atmos Energy filed to increase rates per the RRM in April. The initial filing would have increased the average residential customer's bill by $9.34 per month and the average commercial customer's bill by $30.70 per month. Following the filing, we have negotiated and settled with the coalition, which you all are a part of, to finalize our rate. Together with that coalition, we've agreed upon a rate structure that will increase the average residential customer's bill by about $7.28 per month on average, and a commercial customer's bill by about $29.43 per month. The ACS coalition, which the city is part of, has recommended that the city approve this item, and I'd be happy to answer any questions. I do want to point you in the packets that I've put out in front of you. This is, again, a kind of an overview. That second page there is an overview of the filing. And then on that third page, we get into the city of Clyde particulars. So we talk about the capital expenditures within the city limits of Clyde. So $9.5 million over the last 5 years. And we are expecting, as y'all know, that number will probably go up significantly the next time I'm here next year, because we are doing a lot of work and it's good for the city. And so we are continuing to replace and improve our infrastructure as we have it here. But that's just an oversight of what's going on currently within the city of Abilene. The city of Clyde. The following slides that are provided to you, they are just an update of what's going on. And obviously y'all have seen probably a little white car that runs around every once in a while at night. It's an advanced mobile leak detection car. And what that does, it detects additional things that our normal survey doesn't pick up. So our normal surveys continue to run. However, this AMLD car runs through and can detect smaller signals, and we repair those as we find those. Most of those are above the ground leaks, so they may be at a riser at a meter, which is an easy fix. So just some other things that we do. Obviously proud to be a part of this community and appreciate the support of staff and everybody here that has made our jobs easier, working with them and communicating, and citizens as well. So be happy to answer any questions if you have any.
When will the current project be finished, do we think?
So I don't want to speculate, but we'll probably be here for a minute as we expand our routes. We're getting close in some areas, and we're closing those up, but we'll continue to work until we get pipe replaced.
The rate, on that second page,
Yes, sir.
the average residential customer was, you said it was at 728, but it says here 783.
So the second sheet is a system-wide. Okay, so that's our entire system. When we get to our area here, it's 728 per month. So that's a great question. This is a system settlement, right? That second page is a system settlement. So, and then we narrowed it down with the coalition to this for this area.
Yeah, you had two different.
Yeah.
Sean, how much was it last year? Do you remember?
I don't know. I can find out.
Okay, well, I can too. I just don't have it right in
I
front of
don't
me.
have it.
So,
I don't know.
okay, I thought maybe you just knew off the top of your head. Okay.
Anybody else have any questions for Mr. Martin?
Thank you.
Thank you.
If y'all don't have any other discussion on that, I will entertain a motion to adopt the ordinance.
I'll make a motion to adopt the ordinance.
All right, so motion by Councilman White, second by Councilman Rector. All those in favor? Passes unanimously. Let's see. Moves us to 6.2, consider and act upon establishing staffing requirements for the city of Clyde offices. Mr. Brown,
Both of us can talk about it, but mainly what this was brought up about was we just want to make sure that we're serving our citizens completely. City Hall is staffed from 7 in the morning till 6 at evening, and we stagger their lunches there, so that there's always somebody here during the day. If they need to call, if citizens call, there's always somebody here at City Hall. We wanted to make sure that all of our public offices had the same response. We had one office that, because of days off, was getting an area that wasn't being covered, so we made changes to that. Another area where lunch wasn't covered in one of the city offices, and we've discussed it with them on that. So with that in mind, nothing had been set in ink before on this, so we wanted kinda to have council's opinion and update on this and to set a standard on that everything was covered. Connie, you wanna address anything on that with being here all day?
Yeah, we have, we have a lot of people coming in for building permits or code enforcement issues or about tickets. And various days we'll call and we can't get a hold of anybody. We can't help the person that's coming in because either they've got someone out that's sick or they're understaffed or, they've got the same days off. But we've been able to talk to most of the offices and get them, tell them, we really need someone to be there for these people that are coming in with tickets and with building permits and, that wanna file all this stuff. And just wanted to put it before council that y'all, if y'all wanna make it formal or do something to put it in writing, that all city offices be staffed at least from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, with someone there to help someone walking in.
Difference we may have is in PD, we have a situation where you have one person in PD and our officers may be responding to calls. There may not be anybody in the office during the time that Megan is out to lunch. At that time, we want to establish that our calls get transferred to dispatch at that time. So that even though we might not have somebody in that seat for that hour, citizens can still get contact during that hour, so. That's kind of.
Unless they walk in.
Yep, unless they walk in, which signage will have to explain, that, from 12 to 1, 11 to 12, whatever, that there's nobody there, but they can be reached at such numbers. So that may be on a couple of buildings that we put some signs out there, if that's what council decides, so.
so do I have a proposed policy or something that we're approving, or what do we?
We
No.
thought we'd just,
Yeah, it's just if
Get your
this is something
opinion.
y'all agree with, we'll write up a policy to add into our policies and procedures that will come back, get y'all to adopt it as it's written, and then that'll go in the book, and then that way every office will have that in their office. They will know this is the guidelines that they have to go by. It's not just this department head can kind of change it as they want to or something like that, so.
as we're growing and we're having more and more things going on, this is coming up more and more often.
Yeah. So if council wants us to, we'll put that together and bring it back. Unless y'all wanna just allow the department heads to kinda set their own hours and standards, so.
I think setting a standard,
Yeah.
a consistent standard is very vital. So I'd like to see something put together.
Yeah, most, the restaurant, store, everybody has standard,
Operating hours.
Operating hours, business hours, so. I don't know which policy y'all wanna put that on, but yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Okay, very good. We will move forward with that then.
Do you mind if I say something?
Yes, come in. Sorry, I forgot, Chief, I was gonna turn it over to you so you could address the very thing that I said. I apologize. I didn't see you in uniform and it threw me off. You look nice, sir.
Thank you. Hey, so just so you guys are aware, for those that don't know, I'm the Trevor Barnes, the Chief of Police here. Texas Commission on Law Enforcement requires us by law to have signage on our door, and we do to this day. And it tells you if the door's locked, then you are to call this number, which is our dispatch center in Callahan County. They can call us at any time. Yes, the door is locked noon every day, and also whenever she takes vacation or sick time, it's also locked. And people know they can call us, and dispatchers will call me in my office, and I will go up to the front door and I will let you in and speak to you. So, my feeling on this, you guys, is we took an oath. And our oath is that whenever something happens, we drop everything and we go. And I would really hate to break a rule that is set by you guys, put me in a moral dilemma. Do I maintain the rule that is set by you guys, or do I go to the problem? And just a blanket rule would really just, I don't know. I mean, we have technology that we forward our calls. If you call right now to the police department, after that third call, it goes to the dispatch center. And if during lunchtime, same exact thing. If we're all in the office and the phone's ringing off the hook, the third person that can't get us, that call goes to the dispatch center. I mean, technology can fix a lot of these problems for sure. We can forward our phone during lunch hour to my cell phone, do something. But by rule asking us to have a staff member to sit there, that would be a little bit challenging for us.
What about when we need something from City Hall?
Yeah.
From the police department,
Uh-huh.
and we can't even get a hold of y'all?
Oh, yeah? Yeah, just call our cell phones.
We did,
Okay,
and we still couldn't get a hold of y'all.
okay,
And we had someone in City Hall trying to do business.
right,
Megan was out, Chad was out in the county, his
Uh-huh.
phone wasn't functioning,
Mhm.
and you were in court.
Mhm.
And Tom didn't have any idea about this ticket that
Yeah.
was given. So what do you want, what do we do in that situation?
My question would be, is this a reoccurring issue? Is it a one-time isolated problem?
No, it's something that comes up that we've had to
Okay.
call and can't get a hold of anybody at the police department.
Yeah, I'm sorry that happened. I mean, that is absolutely not how we do business at all. I mean, we have somebody sitting in that chair 95% of the time. And she is there and she does a fantastic job.
She
And-
does.
And we love her and she's fantastic, and she has a lunch break and she has vacation and sick hours. And I mean, what am I gonna do? Call an off-duty officer to come sit there? And if I did that, then whenever the problem arises, does he break the rule or does he go to the call? I don't know. It's just really tough for me.
Well, the answer to that would be obviously that as we set this and establish this, that part would be covered, the fact that we are going to always respond to calls. So if you're in the office, if that was the way we went, we had an
Right.
officer sitting up there in
Right.
Megan's place, and a call come in, you would go to that. You would leave the office. That's
Okay.
100% the way that would go. But I think after you and I spoke the other day, after we first brought this up and was talking about it.
Yes.
The idea of having an officer come in and sit there for 8 hours versus the overtime that would cost, that's not a financially effective way to do it. So that's why we brought back up the point of it going to dispatch, which you've explained now to council
Yes.
that it already does.
Good.
So these are all things that we would look at and talk about as we move forward now. Since council's given us that directions, those are things that we will sit down and talk to you as a department head about and say, okay, in your office, this has this requirement. So, but to answer the question, we will always protect and serve first.
Yes. Thank you all very much. Questions for me?
You know, you brought up that if you're sitting in your office and the door's locked, I mean, something as simple as a doorbell or something would
Yeah.
cause, not make it where they have to call dispatch to then call you to come open the door.
Yeah, we could absolutely do that. It's a great idea.
Something.
Include the note out to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just make sure the signage is there and, it doesn't blow away in the wind or something like that, but have something permanent there, so when people do come up,
Yes.
they come up to the office.
Yes.
And let them be able to see. I've been up there before and I've seen it.
Yes. It's
So I know you got one up there.
It's on the inside, so it can't blow out, and we get audited by TCO, so we have to have it in there. I would be remiss to not ask you guys to save the date for October 7th for National Night Out, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Trevor.
You, Trevor.
All right, so council, y'all get us direction, so we'll make sure, and y'all have got Trevor's comments on that, so we will take all that in consideration as we write up an SOP concerning this. We'll bring it back to you and let you decide.
Nothing else on 6.2. We'll move to 6.3, consider and act upon the hiring of a city administrator. So, in y'all's package, I've got the contract that's been offered. For the public that's here, we've been searching since probably December for city administrator. Seems like it was difficult to find good candidates. Some of them seem to hop around, some of them leave 3 months, 5 months terms and they're out, and that's not really what we wanted here. So with all that, believe we've come to an agreement on offering the city administrator job on a 1-year basis to Mr. Brown. Anybody have any discussion on that?
Yeah, I would just like to add something, you know, we did look over, I don't know how many applications, and, you know, nobody hit the ball here for Clyde. Is Roger the guy for the long-term job? I don't think so. He may be, but for the short term and the things that we got going on in the city, he's the guy I think that we need in that position right now to further on our progress that we got going on in the city. Just want to throw that out there.
You know, I will add, Roger's been in the interim position for 7 months. We've seen a lot of growth in Roger in those last 7 months. I'll be the first to admit, at first I was no way. But he has shown a lot of growth, and he has done an excellent job of keeping council informed and involved. We did not have that previously. We had an independent agent, basically. And I think Roger has seen that firsthand and understands the importance of working with council going forward. I feel like we have a good team here, and we are moving the ball forward.
I know one of my concerns was that there may be some things that Roger was not up 100%. One of the things that we have put in this contract is we want him to receive some additional training. They do have a conference that city administrators go to. He will go there. He will go to sessions that they have in there to help him maybe get over the hump on some things.
Y'all took all my statements, but it is to reiterate, it is a 1-year contract. And we're pretty confident that he's going to improve and with the school, you know, the learning. We feel like this was the best decision for the city at this time.
There's no other discussion on the contract. I will entertain a motion to accept the contract and offer Roger the city administrator position.
Make a motion to accept the contract. Roger Brown as the city manager. Didn't have it in front of me, so I couldn't read it.
All right, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. So, motion by Councilman White, second by Councilman Rector. All those in favor? Passes unanimously. That will close our regular agenda, and that will move to our budget workshop. There we go. I'll have the new budget that they've proposed for us, and quite a bit of changes. I will turn it over to Roger and Connie to go over.
All right, well, first and foremost, thank council for the opportunity to continue to serve the citizens. I appreciate that. David's right. I've learned a lot in 7 months. I obviously am not know everything, unlike some people we've had who thought they did. So I will continue to learn, get better, and continue to serve both council and our citizens to the best of my ability. And thank y'all for the chance to try that. With that in mind, Connie and I have continued to work on this budget and we've taken into consideration what council has asked on several different occasions. And where we're at right now, guys, this is mainly a very similar budget to the last one concerning some of the items that y'all wanted to address. So with that in mind, the main things to take away from this is that where we thought at the end of that, and we had 3 positions that we would not any longer be filling, and that provided quite a bit of savings to the city. We've actually figured out that there's 5 in general. The 3 that we talked about, we will not fill the position at the sports complex. So that's if y'all adopt the budget as we have it, that will be that case. We will not continue to fill a 4th position in code enforcement. That position has actually moved over to one of the vacant spots. Jason has moved over there to the water department. That helped us fill the water department spot, and he's already working on his training on his Class D license. So that's going to be a benefit to the city on that way. Also, with those 2 moves, that fixes the 3rd spot. The 4th spot is actually our SRO program. So with what we had last time, we presented the budget here with saying that we had cut the SRO. What we hadn't done is actually taken the salary out of the budget. So now we've removed that salary, and that's at an even greater savings to us there. And then the 4th one actually winds up being, or the 5th one actually winds up being, by the contract that council had set forth with the new city administrator. That actually concerning what we thought, what we believe we would wind up having to pay, and what we had originally budgeted for a city administrator outside of myself, that's basically a whole nother salary in itself. So now we're with eliminating 3 positions and the school eliminating 1, we've actually come up with 5 salaries. So with that in mind, as you look through the budget, the only things you'll see that have changed on there is where we have the 1 less person per those particular departments. And what that did was that gave us an actual surplus at the end with what budget we're working on and this, I'm gonna throw this in at the very end. So even with the last part of this, that gives us a $368,000 surplus on where we were looking at, on what our budget was. Last time we presented that budget, we would actually wind up with $131,000, and that was at that time with giving our employees a raise of 2.3%, which we had looked at 2.3, we looked at 2.5. We had not given the employees a raise last year because of our situation and how we were working. We asked our personnel to stay with us, and that happened. This year, with our changes that we've made with the adopted rates that y'all have had a chance to look at that have not changed at all from when we first started this, and looking at a 5% raise across the board for everyone, that puts us at the 368, even with the 5% raise for our not our citizens or residents, but with our employees. Now that's higher than y'all were looking at, and I understand that. So at this point, we can back up on that, but I'm letting you know that not having one last year and the CPI being the 2.3, that barely covers, if we did that as we worked the numbers the first time, if we did that, considering what it was last year and what it's already gone up this year, that's not really a raise at all to them. It really didn't. Now, it's better than nothing, so that's great. And if council wants to do that, that's awesome, and I know everybody will appreciate it. With the added changes that we've made, we're very confident and comfortable with proposing that. That's the numbers that are in here. Everything that's worked right now is with that 5%. So we can go through this, we can look at every department, and you can see where we have made those cuts from the very first budget workshop we had to where we're at right now. Again, I know that that is more than what council was kind of looking at. It's just the numbers. We're still working the numbers for whatever y'all want. So y'all tell us, we'll work them, we will rework them, whatever we need to do. But these are the numbers you have in front of you, and that still gives us a good surplus. Way better than we've had in the last couple of years, so. Connie, you got anything you wanna add?
I like the idea of the 5%. I think the county is looking at a 6%.
The county's going up.
I think that's in line with what we have, to be able to offer our employees that. I think that's a good thing.
No, I agree, we need to try to take care of it.
I was a little surprised to hear the 5%. I thought we were still at 2.3 or 2.5.
Yeah, I apologize. We were working these numbers today. I know that we've talked quite a bit about where we wanted to be. Even our last conversation on that, we didn't have the newest, almost 65,000 in savings that we, that again, we've worked these numbers right up until about 2 hours ago. So, and having that extra almost salary is what made us think, okay, let's try these numbers with this way. So again, it's all workable, it's all doable. Whatever we want to work on, we can do.
What does the 5% equate to? Dollars and cents.
I'll have to go through and figure out I just did it per department, I didn't do it as a whole. I went for administration, police, you know what I'm saying? I can go through and run a tape on what the whole is though, and have it for y'all next meeting.
We kind of worked the lowest.
Yeah, I did a 5% for our lowest paid employee, and it's 97 cents an hour, and it comes to a little over $2,000 a year.
So that's basically where we'd be at is 2,000 and up on raise for a year, so.
If going back to some of our first meetings, we had a little over 2.1 million in salaries. And if you take that times the 5%, 106,000, that's just the salary, that's not any of the other taxes.
But that's with the 5 that we've now taken out, the 5.
Oh, yeah, that's true. This
That's
is
with the
very
5.
true.
Yeah, what you're talking about still had those 5 positions in
You're
it.
right, you're right. So maybe even that number with the taxes and all that combined, I would think, something like that. Yeah, you're right. That was from several weeks ago,
Yeah.
before we made quite a few cuts.
You don't realize how much one employee is until you start
When you think payroll,
taxes,
retirement.
retirement, insurance. I mean, it's expensive, yeah, yeah. And when you start, restructuring and moving and looking at that, then it makes a big difference in a budget.
I mean, if you take just the 5 positions that we slim cut with cut, you're sitting at 265,000 and sure so that in salaries that we cut out of that. down to roughly 93,000 as far as that 5% raise plus taxes, payroll taxes and stuff, so.
Payroll taxes and retirement.
Yeah.
Plus you eliminating those 5 positions, now you've eliminated 5 insurances. 5, that adds up quickly.
Correct. Oh, no, five.
Yeah. Okay. Any other thoughts on that? All right, Roger?
If all we did was take the salary out of everything,
Since the last
since our
budget.
last budget.
Since our last workshop, all we've done here is we've created that savings in 4 departments. Admin, water, code, actually not water because we put one in code. Admin, code, and the sports complex,
Well, and water.
and SRO.
We took one out of water.
No, we had 3 scheduled, so we
Right.
took one out
One out
and
of
then we
water,
put
one
one in.
out of the sports complex, one out of code, one out of administration, and one out of the police department.
The 300+ thousand surplus sounds great on the surface. However, if we have a rash of water line breaks and whatnot like we did this year,
Yes,
which took up 225,
yeah,
250,000.
$250,000 just on one project alone.
Right,
Yeah,
so then poof, there goes our surplus.
it does.
So it's still a little concerning.
It is concerning, yes, sir. Of course, the optimism of me would say if we don't have the same ration, then we've created that plan and we've created that cushion that, say, the next year we do have, then we have that. But you're right, unfortunately, there's no way to predict the future on that. It could be as bad as it was at the beginning of this year, it could be worse, it could be better. Our thing is, I think, was that with what we asked from our departments and our employees last year, and what we've had to do, and with, as every citizen, everything's gone up. Everything from what we go up on as a city entity to what you buy at groceries and the gas station. Well, all of those things also affect our employees. So, we weren't able to do anything last year. We had hoped that actually, when we first started this budget, we didn't think we were gonna do anything this year either. The more we dug into this and worked and found some ways to make this happen is the only reason we're even at this point, or even if we were back at 2.3 or 2.5. And again, you're right. Do we be conservative on the raises and not go all the way up to 5? Do we count 5 as not doing it last year, and doing last year and this year together? Do we cannot, we've learned the hard way that we cannot bank on those things that we believe are coming, or we think are coming, or we just wish were coming. So we've had some hard lessons to learn. Again, with all of those things in mind, with the work that we've continued to do on this, as far as Connie and myself working these, we do feel comfortable with this. But we also understand that we can make adjustments to this. We can make adjustments to this year and readjust next year. It's really just gonna come down to, if y'all wanna look at this, if y'all wanna act on it tonight, adopt this as it is this way, or have discussions about it further. This is council's decision, and that's what we'll do.
I bring it up just to make another point that it behooves us to go back through this again very carefully and see if there's something else that we can add to it. This is one process we don't wanna rush through.
No.
We wanna make sure we get it right. We only have the one chance, right? So, let's go back through it again and just see if there's something there.
Yeah.
Last time coming through it, talking around this table, we came up with quite a few good
We did,
ideas.
yeah.
So,
We've done a better job, council has done a better job this year at working this budget along with staff than I can remember doing in the 7 years that I was a different position prior. So, I'm very proud of council for what y'all have done, for what you keep working on. We have no problem looking at this some more.
Great. That was my only point.
Now,
is-
and again, and that's David's point there, council, y'all get to, y'all figure out what y'all wanna do here, and that's what Connie and I will work on.
Connie, when do, excuse me, when do we have to have all that set? What
You
day?
mean for my postings for the tax rate and all that for the
Yes.
paper? I've asked Eileen for that, she's getting it together.
Yeah, because we have to have it set by September 30th, so,
Right, we have to have it adopted and done.
yeah, that's what I mean, it's gotta be
So,
set,
it's-
so. you're
Public
looking at-
hearings and
Yeah,
and all that stuff.
usually they start, the 1st of September, to answer your question, is when we start doing the postings.
We could, if, like Mr. Mann says he wants to meet, or y'all go over this again, we could actually go over that next week. Don't we have,
That's up
is that a
to y'all.
possibility? So we could, that would give y'all another couple of days to get it ready for the September 1st deadline.
Yeah, I just need some kind of guidance on the tax rate. That's the big thing for me right now is, if y'all could make a decision on kind of what y'all are thinking on the tax rate so that when if I know that, I can start getting it in the paper, because I don't know if y'all get the Clyde paper, but have y'all noticed people are starting to post that? We need to get that in there. So if y'all could point me in the right direction of what y'all want to do on that so I can get my postings done.
We can have a meeting, we don't, I know, I've already taken a chewing on this, next Tuesday on the 26th.
But I think I have to have my stuff into the paper before Tuesday at noon.
You will have, yeah.
So if we could get the tax rate at least,
Let's do it.
So this is all proposed at $1, correct?
it is, yes, sir.
Okay.
And again, y'all have the ability, at this point, we're looking at 154, I think 121, 122. So there are a couple of more cents in there, a couple of more pennies on top of that. You know, right now, we're at a tax rate of 88 cents, so we've decided we proposed 12 cents on that. You can go 15 cents on that if you wanted, it could be $1.03. It gives us more numbers to work with, but again, that's, like Connie says, we kinda need to establish that rate so we can get that filed. And everything on here is at 12 cents.
We're just under 15%. Just 13. What was what was the exact figure on the water, on the utilities?
Going up on everything, 134, 62, and 121. My other notes are in there in my office, so I have to go get them.
I think the total was $3.12.
Across all
14.
three.
Yeah,
Yeah.
across all three.
For residential,
Yeah,
For
residential.
for
residential.
residential, $3.12.
Let me see if I got it.
It's, like 60 cents, for, got it written down in Yeah, it's, the total base rate for residential increase is $3.12, and commercial was 15 per service. No increase on water between 0 and 5,000 gallons for residential. So basically, if you have a household that uses 2,000 gallons of water, the only increase they're gonna see is $3.12. Because we're not going up on per gallon cost for 0 to 5,000.
Yeah, water was 62.50 currently, and would look at 63.90, so water itself was $1.40. We had looked at one time, we had proposed, we'd said something about $2.50 each across the deal, so we'd go up basically you go up $7.50, and then council wanted to back off of that, so why we broke those numbers back down further, so.
We took it to the CPI, the 2.3%.
Did we come up with some numbers on the over 5,000 usage?
Yeah, Roger,
So we,
go ahead.
no, so what was the question, we stayed at the 5,000, then after that, what you saying?
Did we go up to the 1.025 or, and bump that, that?
Oh, man, well, I brought all my new stuff out here, I left all that stuff, I can go get it in the office. It wasn't 90 cents.
95.
Yeah, it's 0.95
Yeah.
currently. 0.0095.
Yeah,
That's the
0.00.
above 5
Right.
to 10.
Yeah,
Right.
between 5 and 10.
Right.
So we talked about possibly increasing that, correct?
Increasing that from 5 to 10 and from 10 above also.
Correct.
So that is one of the other numbers that we can look at.
You know, that's we'll just go back to the property tax so we can kind of get that settled. We'll try to, so we can get it all posted. That's a 13.4% increase, right? I don't really, I think that's adequate for our current needs, unless we have something major. None of us have that crystal ball to tell us.
I don't think any of us want a tax rate to go any higher than we need it
No.
to be.
I know I don't.
I don't either.
But we have to continue to provide services too, so I would say, my opinion, leave it as projected.
Good with that.
So leave it at the projected rate of, or proposed rate of $1. Okay. We good with that? Is that what you need?
That's what I needed. Thank you.
And as far as the water rates, I'd say go as proposed. But if we do have that emergency, everybody better get ready to tighten that belt.
Yeah, for sure.
And the only other thing that we looked at is, back to the water and sewer, since y'all have done this, is the polycart. The 2.3% on 2670 was like, what, 62 cents or something? It was,
Yeah.
but the second polycart and third polycart and all that that people have additional polycarts, right now they're at $13.04, and we proposed $14 if you have multiple polycarts. Now, if you just have one polycart, that's gonna be included
Yeah,
in
that
that
still falls in your
Right.
base.
that first base.
But second, third, and fourth, and it would stay the same. It wouldn't go up staggered each month. It would be the 96 cents
Per polycart.
per polycart.
And it'll be
2, 3, or 4.
14 for each additional one?
Yes,
Yeah.
instead of $13.04.
Right.
But on the base rate that includes one polycart, all you're getting is that 62 cents, that base 2.3% CPI.
Any of the calculations of the budget, back to the consumption charge, is that kept the same, or is that where we were talking about jumping the 5,000?
The 0 to 5 would stay exactly the same at
Right.
0.85.
Got that.
And then y'all would need to make a decision if y'all wanted to go up on the 6 to 10 and the 10 and above. If y'all, projection,
Yeah, I mean, what, and I know it's a variable.
It is a variable.
Variable rate, or income, revenue, because it's not guaranteed, but what's the budget, what y'all worked up the numbers, is that leaving this the same, or is that, and just the $3 increase, or is that changing these numbers?
no, we did not calculate any increase if y'all wanted to go up on the 6 and above and the 10 and above. Because you said it's a variable, you can't do it. And the majority of our customers usually stay 5 and less. We have, a percentage, of course, that 15-20% that go above 5,000 gallons, but the majority of our customers are somewhere between 0 and 5,000 gallons a month.
What do you think?
So what's the rate per gallon, once you're over the 5,000?
0.95 from 6 to 10. And then over 10, it's 1.025, is that right?
1.025, yeah.
Yeah,
Say again?
0.95 from 6 to 10 and 0.1025 for over 10,000. And then after 10,000, that's as high as we go. It doesn't matter at that point if you use 10,000 or 40,000.
Gotcha.
You got the numbers.
That right here, thank you.
And that's put in place to try to deter high water usage? or-
And we can get, although we didn't budget on the changes on the amount on the gallons mo because of the fact that it's so flexible,
Right.
but we could get an idea. We can take an average on that and we can say that, right now our lake's full, we're doing good, we're not, having any problem there. So we can take a look at what we had this year. We can go back through that and say if we stayed at just where we were this year and then but added that rate change, we could get a number for you on that. And that would tell you,
It shows how many gallons over 6,000 were used.
yeah.
And if
That
y'all
would be-
did an increase, what it would be.
Yeah, that's what I wrote down here, is that what we'll do is we'll find out where we were with our average numbers on that, and then we'll apply the numbers that we've looked at to that, and just see how much that gives us. See if that kind of gets to where y'all are
Do y'all-
looking at.
Do y'all have an idea of what you would want it to be from 6 to 10 and over 10 so that we can come back if,
It's hard to even fathom that until we know what the number is, right? I mean,
I think
I'm not a very good dart player, so.
I think one conversation that I'd had was just taking that .01025 and bump it up to the middle, 5,001 to 10,000, and then increasing that over 10,000 by, I don't know, a little bit.
What number were you saying on 5 to 10, 501 to 10?
5,001 to 10, we're like move that top, the big number, the .01025. And then,
move the over 10 up to the 6 to 10.
right,
And then the over 10 at .1025.
yeah, increase that by whatever that difference was.
think where you're looking at there, what you had just said, so use the number that we're using over 10 as the number for 5,001 to 10.
Right.
And then we'll adjust 10 above that.
And that moves it, that basically moves that 0.0095 up by 0.00075. I mean, it doesn't change it much.
No, it's fractional,
Yeah.
for sure.
And then if you wanted to keep with that same increase, you could, up the 0.01025 by that same 0.00075, and that equals.
Okay.
That will give me a starting point to calculate,
Okay.
if y'all did these increases, what the revenue would be.
And most, like you say, most customers,
Don't
it's not gonna affect them.
Right.
No, I don't ever use much more than 5, I don't think I've ever used more than 5,000.
So y'all don't wanna increase the 0 to 5?
I don't think so.
No, we wanna leave that the same.
I don't think there's a need for that.
That way you're elderly and single,
Yeah.
1 or 2 people in a household, that shouldn't affect.
Okay, just wanna make sure. Okay,
And then the same thing, we were talking about the commercial, that kind of takes care of residential on the commercial. Are we wanting to do anything with that, or leave it?
So the proposed 15, is that for water, sewer, and trash combined?
No, that was
That's for
15
service.
apiece, so it'd be 45.
across the board.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that-
And at that point, we were looking at 25 when we first started and dropped it back to 15 across the board. So a total of 45 for their water, trash, and sewer. And that's a pretty good hit on that, so I don't know that, again, that we would look at going up on their water rates based on gallons used. So we can leave that where it is. I think the other part works pretty good, so.
The only other thing is the trash containers, but if y'all feel like the 45's good, then.
Yeah, well, and that could be the same thing, what we had talked about on that for multiple of them, but generally, they're pretty set on what they have. It's not very often we have that, that they get an extra cart or an extra dumpster or roll-off, so. Again, that's a pretty good, I think that's pretty good on them, but whatever y'all wanna do on that.
I know one of the
$5 a month's a big hit.
It is,
I
so.
know one of the thoughts I had was, maybe not going up as much on the commercial poly cart, and maybe even the smaller 2-yard container, or whatever, 2 or 3 yard container. That's gonna be your smaller businesses that.
You mean lower the rate on their poly carts?
Right.
Or just not raise rates on poly carts? Or on multiple carts?
I mean, we can do whatever, but, your big ones, your 6 and 8, even your 4, that's gonna be your larger businesses.
Yeah.
McDonald's, Whataburger, the big ones that, they can swallow that more than the cafe and several other, the smaller businesses here in town. Well, it's just a thought.
Okay. All right, well, after we adjust the numbers on residential, then we can look at that if there's anything else we need to put on that. But as we get with you guys, since we're trying to put this together, well, we hadn't decided if you're gonna do it next week. But if we try to do this by next week or by September's council meeting, which will be the 9th, so
Yeah.
we got one of those come up. So it's either next week, a week from today, or 3 weeks from today, so.
Just going back to that point, I would think with the $45 monthly increase, probably leave the carts alone for the containers for the commercial.
I'm just saying, instead of, say the commercial poly cart, if it's right now, it's $29.10. Pop that $15 and that puts it, that puts it nearly $45 for that. Is that
One polycart.
one polycart? So what I'm proposing is maybe we'll go with $5 on that. And I think when I look at the numbers, there's only like 15 of those, and there's not many of them.
State that one more time.
Instead of going up $15, which, like I say, if we,
On the trash service,
yeah, for
on the
For
base
the-
for the trash.
especially some of the smaller ones. So the 29.10 plus 15, like I say, that's gonna put it at $44.10 for that polycart. What I'm saying is trying to help the smaller businesses, instead of going up $15, maybe only go up $5 or $10. I mean, like I say, we've only got, I don't remember the exact numbers, but I wanna say there's only like 15 commercial polycarts. If you're talking, I mean, that's not much trash.
Let me just throw the what ifs out there.
Thought-
Alright, so how do you establish what's small business versus medium business versus, obviously we can tell large business? Do you judge it just by if you only have one polycart? And if that's the case, then do you create a situation where you take a business who says, well, if I don't, I can stuff everything into that one polycart, I don't need that second car. Have you created any, and I'm not saying we do,
Yeah.
just bringing it up, that there's this possibility that now you go down again. If you're only talking 15 carts, it's not that big of an increase or not that big of a decrease on it. So I just want all, think about all sides of it, is where do you establish that?
Right.
Because you're saying small business, so what actually is that when it comes to how we differentiate between businesses,
Usually, when they open, I'm probably what you're thinking, when they open their business, they know what trash, I know with mine, I needed the bigger trash can, so I ordered the 2-yard. If I'm just a little small one, I think most, when they open, they know what size,
Yeah.
and I think that's how we're going by how small they are, or how big they are.
Right, and you know as well as anybody, it's small businesses
Yeah.
it's hard to make it in Clyde, so
Yeah,
just I'm just throwing out ideas of ways that we can try
That's
to
good.
help them out as much as we can, because it's just a big increase.
yeah.
so I wouldn't, okay, I've got it.
And basically, all I'm saying is polycart, maybe 2 to 3 yard containers. Seemed like there wasn't any 2 yards, if I remember correctly.
What do I have?
I can't remember that.
I think we have just a handful of 2
Yeah,
yards.
Yeah.
4-yard, not a 2-yard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4
Maybe
yards is
3
pretty
yards, yeah.
I think, yeah, 3 or 4 yard, yeah.
Anyway, it's
Really
just,
common
like I said,
one.
it's just a thought. Okay. So y'all put something together for the September meeting on this?
Yes.
Okay.
And the public hearing will probably be posted by then and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, almost immediately after for 2 of them, so 72 hours. Well, even
Yeah,
more than that, that's September 1st, that part changes, so,
Next week,
yeah.
there's this.
Right, it
Okay.
does change.
September meeting, we can.
Okay.
No, it's not.
If we wait till September the 1st, or September meeting, we'll be able to get all the budget stuff in time?
Yeah, but it's up to y'all whenever y'all want. I mean, if y'all wanna come back next week, we'll come back next week and we can hash some more numbers. I can have the over 5,000 gallons and what the revenue would be on if y'all increased it to this.
Okay.
Is there anything else y'all want me, other than that, the water usage for residential?
think those numbers that you gave me the other day on how many of each, polycart and trash, the 2 yard, 3 yard. Seem to have misplaced them.
With the numbers too.
You don't have the copy I gave you?
I know if I looked a little bit more, I could find it, but I couldn't find it in a hurry.
We wouldn't all have it.
Yeah,
And we all need
We all
that.
want
yeah.
it.
So, yeah, get us that.
I was thinking Paul could just bring it in to y'all, but no. Okay.
Alright. So, is there any more discussion that we need to do back on the budget? You basically said, pretty much the only changes that were here was the additional staffing cuts and then the 5% increase on the
Yep.
raise.
And then now what we've talked about will work too.
Okay.
So Parks and Rec, labor and salaries, that's that one position, this,
Yes.
Anything else?
okay with general.
I'll let y'all keep looking for a little bit longer.
Please do.
Okay. What changed on library?
They're
We-
5%.
Yeah, and
Oh,
we,
okay.
we raised their, yeah, on this one is just their 5% increase. We'd already
Okay.
raised their $1,000 last time, so.
Okay. Alright, yeah, that's.
Was there something on the Tech Dot streetlight we were gonna look at?
Oh, no, y'all wanted to know what that was, and I don't know why I had a brain aneurysm when we were talking about that.
Okay.
What it is we have streetlights within the city that are on text dot highways, basically. We're in a coalition for our utility rates with a bunch of other cities. And so we pay for all the city streetlights in Clyde. And then those specific lights that belong on the text dot highway, we send them the bill. We have them separated out. We send them the bill and they pay us for those streetlights. But it's on our bill as a whole already.
Okay.
Had written down on the lake, something about the lake cabin.
Cabins, we were
Yeah, we
looking
wanted
at.
to break down of what
Break
you
up.
got.
Terry said he has that already, and it comes in on his monthly report showing the lake cabin revenue and stuff, right, Terry? Yeah, so,
Okay.
is that not what you
And,
I know.
I wanna know between cleaning, utility, water, what's the actual cost of
Of
operating
renting
those
and operating them,
cabins?
yeah.
we'll have to break the electricity out of, our lake cost out there completely, so we'll have to see what it was before we put in. Then, as far as,
Well, here's the issue with that. We have one water bill that's for the whole lake. I
Yeah.
can't tell you what's just the cabins and what's the campsites. I'll have to have somebody go get me the ESI ID numbers off of the,
MOUs,
Yeah.
the items,
Electric's the
yeah.
same.
electric, well, we have one company. They break it out by ESI ID, but they don't break it out by location. It's just a number when it
Meter
comes in.
number.
Yes.
So each
Okay.
cabin has its own meter,
Well, I don't even know how that was set up.
or is it?
No, all the whole lake out there is on that one line. All the campsites, the park, the pavilion, everything.
The house and everything.
So all that's one meter then?
I don't know how it was set up.
One master meter out there.
Okay.
Salary, so,
I don't know how
that's
you,
interesting.
I don't know how you.
I don't know.
It would be
how-
harder to tell on the electricity, but on the water, we could look back from before we put the cabins in. But
Yeah.
the cabins aren't gonna use,
They have air conditioners, they have heaters, their air
Are you
conditioned
talking
and they're
about-
heated.
well, the electricity, like I say, that's gonna be, because of how much electricity's gone up then. We can still look and see what the bill was for the whole lake.
Are you talking about the meters for like electric?
Yes.
Okay,
Well-
there is electric meters on each thing out there.
On each cabin?
That, they'll have their own, ID number on that. That's what,
Right.
we can get you
The
guys.
cabins have one, Grace Cove has one, and then there's one for the camp areas, and the house, I believe the house has one too.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna need is the ESI ID
There's
numbers.
several of them out there, there's even a light pole out there that has a meter on it.
Okay. Well, I just need the cabins. Everything else belongs directly to the lake, right?
Right.
And then on the water side of it is what I was saying, we can go back and look at what our water usage was before we put the cabins in. So,
Get a
Okay.
good guesstimate, yeah.
Yeah, but that's gonna be hard to tell that too, because, I mean, you could
4th of
have more
July,
campers
yeah.
one weekend.
it'll give us, it'll give us what you're looking for,
General idea.
an idea. But you're right, but, we can even pull that though for, I mean, again, it's, how much we wanna go back? We can go back for yearly, for each year for 5 years, or monthly for each year for 5 years prior to cabins. And then we can look at what the total bill has been since we've had the cabins. Again, it's a lot of figuring, but if it's what you gotta have, we can make it work, so.
And of course, we don't have wastewater because of their septic.
Yeah.
So basically, you wanna know the electric and the water for the cabins.
Electric, water,
And what?
cleaning costs,
Okay.
look at that versus revenue.
Yeah, and then we need to look exactly, seems like, didn't Airbnb go up on their rate on what they were gonna be charging just recently?
We went up on our room.
Yeah.
It's $150 per night with a $75
Because when-
cleaning fee.
And then we raised the cleaning fee
And then-
to
Oh, you raised the cleaning fee to what?
75 instead of
Right.
65.
Yeah.
And then 52.94 for Airbnb, that's what I had. I'm not sure if that's right, that is.
No, 150 per
150.
night.
No, I'm talking about the Airbnb fee, which the customer pays,
Right,
correct?
we don't ever see that.
Okay,
Yeah, I
so we
don't-
see the cabin and the,
Yeah.
So
Cleaning
it's
fee.
2.25. Well, now
Yeah.
it's 150 and then a night, and then 75.
70 plus.
Right,
yeah,
so if you
it's
stay 2
2
nights,
days.
it's $375.
It's like 250.
We went up.
Yeah.
And
And,
then,
That was just.
and you can know, I think he rented the cabins for, were you there for the
Labor
4th
Day.
of July?
For
Or Labor Day last year?
No, this year. Pretty rare.
I mean, look, I'm going back into our council packet from last meeting, or for the July meeting.
Tell you what it
I mean, he did put it in here, Clyde Lake Cabin. I'm assuming this is just revenues. It's,
Yeah, there was no, no
there's
way to
no,
break
there's no,
out the
ex-
expenditures.
yeah, there's no expenditures. This is just revenue. So we're looking for an idea of how much the expense side of that is.
Right.
So we need to, y'all want me to set up some new codes for when Naomi is inputting her electric bill and all that, so that she will code the electric to the cabins and not just the lake?
Especially if they've
I
got.
think it'd be a good idea,
their own
that way
meter.
you can make sure that your rental costs are keeping up with your expenses on it, because right now, it sounds like we're kinda guessing.
Okay, so we need to set up revenue and expense codes for the cabins.
Yep.
Okay. It'll still be under the 530, but it'll just be like a line
Yeah,
item.
so
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
that'll be fine.
okay.
I think when we can get those numbers, we can
See if they're,
kinda put this thing to bed next time around.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Terry, we get those, some numbers for us tomorrow.
What numbers?
Numbers for the meters.
Oh, yeah,
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 so you
yeah,
can split 'em
yeah.
out.
Yeah. But this won't, and we can pull the bills and backdate it, but these new codes for revenue and expenses won't go in effect until 10/1.
Yeah.
Okay, as long as okay.
But as we're looking at the budget, if
Yeah.
we need to adjust
Yeah.
something, now's the time.
Yeah, that's great. I just didn't want y'all to expect it on your next financial.
An idea of going forward if we're charging appropriately or not.
Right, yeah, that's what I was getting
They're
at.
running
'cause-
enough
Yeah.
too.
'cause I know it's a
yeah.
fairly good expense, on a whole, but how does it stack against the revenue? So let's just make sure we're on the right side of the ledger.
It's a good thought.
Are we in a, year contract with Airbnb or anything like that?
I don't know how
Or is
Terry
it
set
just
that up.
I was gonna tell you something else too. On those cabins, the air conditioners or heaters, whichever season that we're in, they have to run all the time. And there's also a dehumidifier that has to run all the time. And we found that out the hard way because it started pulling the paneling and the ceiling stuff off because there's so much moisture out there being at the lake. So we're having to keep stuff going to keep stuff from warping off the walls and stuff.
When I was on the coast,
What's that?
never had to do that when I was on the coast.
Yeah,
If
I'm
the
trying
AC
to-
is working properly, it should dehumidify by itself,
Yeah,
but it's not,
that's the only thing we found right now that will stop
it's
it.
working, okay.
And those are probably what, mini splits?
Yeah, there's many, well, no, there's not mini splits, they're just, window units. They're large window units, but they are heat and cool both.
They are pretty
Okay.
cool.
And we've
We
already
were
had
at
to
that point.
replace a meter a meter thing that the fire ants got in and ate it all out. And then we've had at the lake, not the cabins, but at the lake, we had a huge septic issue this year that we had to
Yeah,
replace so we've had some expenses out there this
And
year.
The sewer, thing completely collapsed in during the spring back here too.
But that,
Water and sewer, it collapsed the whole
Yeah,
manhole, or
yeah,
the whole
that's when that
tank
happened,
in.
yeah.
but that's for the whole lake itself.
That was a
Yes.
1,000 gallon tank too, and it busted it was a 2 foot thick, cratered it in.
Right. That doesn't just affect, we gotta have that, because then the house is the house on
The
that?
house have their own tanks
their
up
own.
here by themselves,
Okay.
and they have a pump filled out, drying field.
That's all the RV spots.
All the
the
RV
cabins,
spots,
the
right.
public restrooms, right?
Right,
It doesn't have a drying field on the public restroom, but the rest of it does. The restroom's actually on a septic tank
Oh, okay,
by itself.
okay.
But the others have, tanks and it pumps all out to drying fields. So,
Okay, thank you, Terry. And just for my general knowledge, what are the RV spots going for out there?
oh gosh, man, I don't have the prices off the top of my head.
They're
right
20,
now.
aren't they $20? Didn't we go,
We went from 18 to 20.
yeah, I think they're 20.
So we're $20.
And it's
I can dig your
10 or 15
those are not,
or
For the full electric hookup up on the
it's
top.
$20 for the ones on top. full electric, and then I
I think it's 15 for the generator spots down on the bottom. and-
Or there's some electric spots down there without sewer.
Yeah.
I think they're the same price though, right?
Yeah.
20 for the full electric, and then 15 on the others.
Yeah.
We know how that compares to other RV, recreational RV spots.
Way cheap.
Like in, you know, if we were to go to Lake Brownwood or Abilene State Park, or,
We are way cheap.
Way cheap.
can we find out what the, surrounding area is running
I can do that.
between now and then?
Yep.
Thank you.
I'll call around. You know, I paid as much as 40 before. It's usually around 32, 35 for
I
night.
remember paying 30 something back in the 80s. It seems like around Lake Murray and stuff, so.
And that's per night.
Yeah.
And the camping?
$10 was the last time I seen anybody pay a 10.
And then they add for like electric and water on those, or no? Okay,
They're primitive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
primitive camping spots.
that's right, I knew that. Okay.
But even at that, with the advent of the public restroom there, no, doesn't have a shower facility, just restroom, right?
No,
No.
no, just that.
We actually did compare those prices with other campsites when we made the last time we did that round on making raising them up. We actually did compare them at that point. We were right there with them. Now, I haven't compared them in quite a few years now since we went up, but.
Says that been
we
several
were
years
dead
ago.
right with them.
How many years ago was that?
That's
Mr. Nathan,
probably
when
been-
did we raise those? Do you remember?
It's gonna be at least 5 to 7 years ago.
They
Been
were
at
due
least
for
5.
review then.
I think it was when you were on council, wasn't it? Did we raise those rates out at the lake when you were on council?
I don't remember it.
Can't remember either.
I think that it was probably 2018. It was right after I came on as mayor, and that was 2017. So
That
it
was
was either
pre-COVID.
18 or 19 that we
It's
raised.
been a while.
Yeah, if it was pre-COVID, I promise we're pretty low then.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've adjusted our, yeah.
I'll put something together. We'll have numbers for you.
It's the lowest place in the area, because we camp quite a bit. Clyde Lake's the cheapest place to camp.
I don't mind this being a good value, but
Yeah.
we want to make sure we're covering our costs on it
I
too.
know.
One thing, and it is on budget, I don't know how to quantify this right here though, council, we are gonna change the codes out there at the lake. We have lost significantly with people putting codes out there on Facebook and just letting people come in and go and everything, but along with doing that, at some point, we're gonna have to look at changing that gate system out there too, so that's not this year, but we'll change the codes, but we probably won't look at the gate, but some of the council have to keep in mind that we need to make some changes on that. We'll do that and let everybody know, so.
Can I say something? On that, the expense at the lake, it is the cheapest place, but we don't have showers out there. And most of the others do have showers. So that would have to be factored in too.
We got a big bathtub out there though.
Yeah, you can just walk straight out.
Exactly,
The shower curtain
exactly.
out there.
Bar
So I mean,
something
that's
jumping.
just,
No, I
you
get it.
know, just one of the inconveniences of camping there. We camp a lot, so we kind of, yeah.
Okay, so I got what I needed to move forward with my postings. And I got a whole slew of stuff to look at.
Any other discussion on this for this evening?
Just to be clear, are we meeting next week or are we gonna push to the September meeting?
I mean,
I think we meet next week.
me too? Yeah, let's
It
do it.
shouldn't take very long, but
No.
I think
But
it's.
I think we need to do it before September.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Give Connie time to get all her ducks in a row.
Let's do it. Okay. All right. Y'all good? Okay. Let's find the old deal here. I think that we're gonna close the budget workshop And that will move us to 8.0 adjournment.
I'll make a motion.
Okay. Motion by Mr. Lynn, and second by Councilman White. All those in favor? Let's get out of here.
Today, 250 Pizza House.